All right, we're live. It's Tuesday night, May the 9th. How's everybody doing? Here to talk a little bit about Halloween 4, much like we did Halloween 3 last week. I'm going to break it down. And I'll tell you 5 things I hated about the movie, and of course, 5 things I loved. Um, let's see if people are loading in the chat here. Trying a little bit something different tonight. I'm going live on YouTube. Don't know how that's going to work. How's everybody doing? So Nick Push is in the chat. Magic Man, Chris Fantazzi, welcome to the chat. Entertainment Wizard, Paxton Scoggins, man, what's up? Man, I had to do a mad scramble to get this thing ready. Boy, do I have a slide presentation put together for you guys. We'll wait for some people to trickle in and talk about. Had some news things come out today with the Beetlejuice 2. They went ahead and announced they're going into production. They're going to start shooting next month for a release date of, I think, September 6th. Next year, it'll have Michael Keaton will be back. I'm not sure about Winona Ryder. Jenna Ortega joining the cast. She's going to play Lydia's daughter. That's pretty exciting. I think it's been long overdue that they've made a new Beetlejuice movie. Let's face it, Michael Keaton's not getting any younger, so kind of crazy they haven't made a sequel to that yet. But yeah, I'll be looking forward to that. I wonder if it is going to interfere with the production of Scream 7. They haven't announced it yet. We know that they've been wanting to get going on it. And, they might have to think about moving forward without Jenna Ortega. We'll see how it goes. Can anybody do me a favor and look on Twitter and see if this shit is even streaming on there? I don't even know how it works. Oh, yep, there it is. It's live right there. Fucking retweet that shit. I can't believe it. So the reason I'm trying out Twitter, streaming on YouTube is where you guys are watching right now. YouTube has some very arbitrary rules for monetization. And I was looking on Twitter, you can monetize pretty much right away. I'm just going to start streaming on there to see if it, kind of brings some more people in. And then I can do subscriptions and then we can, do exclusive content for subscribers, but just, trying it out. Let's get back to the chat. We got some people watching, man. I'm excited. Adam Howard right out of the gate on Halloween 4. I always thought it was funny that Family Guy included this movie in an episode with Tom Tucker actually being George P. Wilbur. Yeah, we're going to talk about old George P. Yeah, Ortega says, sorry, Nick Push's Horror channel. Welcome, Nick. Ortega is Burton's new Depp. Yeah, it seems he has a new muse. The Wednesday show that they did together on Netflix was hugely successful. So, coupled with a second season of Wednesday, Beetlejuice 2, Jenna Ortega is very popular in the Scream movies. And this was, I don't know if they're going to be able to get her for Scream 7. It's going to be crazy. Josh the Horror Guy is never a fan of anything, Mr. Slasher Network. He's never a huge fan of Beetlejuice either. Doesn't like Halloween Kills. What else was it? Entertainment Wizard. I suspect Scream 7 might have been pushed back because they want to slash the budget. Scream 6 was not the huge hit news outlets said it was. They spent $14 million alone on the Super Bowl trailer. That's a good point. I think it ended up grossing, I'm going to say right around $108 million. It might have been a little bit more worldwide. We'll see. I mean, I think it's crazy to even think about doing Scream 7 without Jenna Ortega at this point. Allie Girl, happy Tuesday. Big game tonight. Thanks for tuning in. Are you guys ready to get into Halloween 4? Let's talk a little bit about Halloween 4. Let's get this shit in here. Halloween 4 came out in 1988. Um, as we all know, 80s was ripe for horror. Friday the 13th, shelling them out every year, low budget, big returns. Nightmare on Elm Street, same thing. Low budgets, big returns. Now, we all know Halloween 2 came out in 1981, followed by Halloween 3, which was abysmal at the box office. Didn't have Michael Myers in it. So I think we entered into a rights. Hold on, let me get this off here. Rights issues. Mustafa Akkad, we know, owned the rights to Halloween. Um, Seemed like it was split 4 ways between him, Urban Yablans, John Carpenter, and Deborah Hill. So, while they're fighting over rights, money is just passing them by. So we move along to 1988. Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th. They're at the end. I think part 8 came out in 88. Or I'm sorry, part 7, Friday the 13th. Dream Child, I think the 4th one, I think it was pretty successful. But then, right around then is when the bottom fell out of horror. And then along comes Mustafa Akkad. Finally gets it all together to make Halloween. And, Halloween 4 turned out to be a very interesting movie. But let's get into it. First off, what can we say about the poster? I have the poster behind me. Fucking amazing poster. The mask, I mean, it's too bad they missed the ball with the mask in the movie, but let's go through some of the slide I have here. What do you guys think of the poster? Do you guys one of your favorites? I think it's better than 1 and 2. I'm going to be honest with you. It's the best poster probably in the franchise. Even though that Halloween Kills poster was pretty badass. But so right out of the gate, us mega Halloween fans. Let me rewind a little bit to where I was in 1988. Lived in a little ass town in northeast Colorado. I think I was just getting ready. I think I was just out of 6th grade. And Halloween 4 did come to my little, I had one of those 1 theater, 2 screen towns. And I was successful to talk my mother into buying me a ticket, letting me go. So, I was there opening night. Bought a big popcorn. I think I was there with a couple friends. Bought a big popcorn, big popcorn. That would be like a small popcorn now. Then a large drink, which would be like maybe a medium now. But before the curtain goes up, lights go down, I spill this fucking thing all over myself. The Pepsi, that is. And so I had to sit there and watch this movie completely covered in soda, but I loved every minute of it. It was the first Halloween movie that I was ever able to see in the theater. Oddly enough, a couple years before this, I saw Friday the 13th Part 7 in the theater. So, it was a long time coming for Halloween. That's right, Nick. Death came to Bud's little town. Look at that town the way it was back then. I'm really amazed that they were able to get this movie in there on opening night. Pretty crazy. Allie, you love the poster. Of course you do. Let's see what did Nick say. I think I need to go back. The poster is great and a liar. Yeah, we're going to get into that. We have to talk about the mask. Figure out why it came to be. But yeah. Do you imagine the actual mask in the movie being on this poster? You think that would sell Halloween? I don't think so. So in Halloween 1988, obviously they made the very wise decision to bring back Michael Myers. So I'll go through the story here. But let's get it. The movie starts and automatically, it's a little bit something different than we're used to. We're used to the pumpkin openings. But here they kind of start. We're in the Midwest here. Let me get Nick's good comment off of there. We're here in the Midwest here, and we get some nice, cool Midwestern Halloween atmosphere, decorations. Like, love it, man. It kind of sets the tone. To me, it sets the things are all quiet in Haddonfield. after the years, the events from 10 years prior, things are better now. People can kind of celebrate again. So the movie opens up in a familiar place, mental institution, much like Smith's Groves, but here we're at a place called Ridgemont Hospital. And we learn that the staff here that are from Smith's Grove, and they're here to transfer a patient from here at Ridgemont, a very special patient. What we're going to find out is the shape. He survived the fire in Halloween 2. Badly burned. We learned that he, has been comatose, hasn't moved in 10 years. So they're going to load him up. This Dr. Hoffman here, who he played the Ivan Drago's manager in Rocky 4. He was in a lot, like a villain in a lot of movies, but he's not quite a villain here. He's a little tweener. He just wants this guy off his plate. So, the two doctors from Smith's Grove over here, they're checking his vitals, getting him ready for moving. You know what? I forgot the photo where Michael's hand falls out of the gurney. They're explaining, asking questions like, "Oh, does he have any living relatives?" And his hand falls out of there. So, oh shit, the shape does have life, or did his hand just fall out of there? So, this is where we get to hear the Halloween music for the first time in 10 years. Pretty amazing. I thought the score, which was done by Alan Howarth, I think he worked with John Carpenter on the Halloween 2 score. So he was very familiar with it. Did a great job. Kind of brought it up a little bit, sounded a little more polished. Before we get Michael moved, let's go to the chat here. Jake Blaster just show Kathleen Kinmont. Oh, shit. You know what? I think I forgot. Damn it. How do you do a Halloween 4 stream and not have Kathleen Kinmont? Josh the Horror Guy says he regrets selling his Halloween 4 poster. Yeah, man, it's a great one. The one I have behind me, it's a canvas print, so you got to have it front and center because it's so good. Let's see here. Tina, we're not talking about Halloween 5, Scotty, but yeah. Yeah, we'll do. I'm gonna do Halloween 5. I'm just gonna go through it, and we'll get back to that at the time. Entertainment Wizard is like, Josh, you had the original poster. What the fuck's wrong with you? Why would you sell that? Scotty, his first H2O or first Halloween experience at the theater was H2O. I know probably a lot of people who watch this probably have the same. Jake Blaster, the opening is fantastic. Entertainment Wizard, technically it is the same mask, but yeah, the production designer guy fucked it up. Let's see here. Yeah. The security guard, Jesus ain't got nothing to do with this place. Yes, indeedy. He kind of gives the rundown of what's been going, what happened 10 years ago. Fill in the new viewers who probably didn't see Halloween or Halloween 2. Just giving them the rundown, setting the table, let them know where we're at. The orderly at the beginning was such a great addition. At some points, you couldn't tell if he was an orderly or an inmate. Yeah, man, he fucking had fucked up teeth. I can safely say that Michael Myers is in your hands, so that gets us off, man. They're moving him, getting him into the bus. So they get him into the bus. Start talking badly about Michael Myers, like making fun of him because he's an invalid. And then this is where they start talking about if he has any living relatives. When we find out that, Laurie Strode, his sister, she passed away, but she had a child, and Michael Myers' only living relative is his niece, who's a young girl. So essentially, they're like, Michael, good, we own him, but nobody owns Michael Myers, as we know. And we get our first fucking kill since Halloween 2, 1981. This is it, man, and it was a doozy. What do you guys think of this kill? This is a brutal opening kill. He's like fucking slams his head into the bus and then just boom. thumb right between the eyes. Pretty fucking brutal kill. And then it's just downhill for these people from there. So we end here, and oh man, I got these out of order. I think I missed one here. So we meet Jamie Lloyd, the young niece of Michael Myers, Laurie Strode's daughter. We open in on her. She's kind of, it's raining outside. She's praying, praying for her new family, for her dog, for Sunday. And then we meet her foster sister, Rachel Carruthers. And just let me tell you about these two. Danielle Harris, as we know, plays Jamie Lloyd. And right out of the gate, the most important things, they couldn't have Jamie Lee Curtis back. So the most important thing for them to hit was a new connection to Michael Myers, the new Final Girls. Rachel Carruthers, Jamie Lloyd, fucking Ellie Cornell, Danielle Harris did such an amazing job. They had great chemistry. Right off the bat, you buy into the love. You love me like I'm your real sister. It's right in there. Nice introduction. And then, of course, Jamie goes to bed and has the nightmare. And then we get our first look at the Shape. First time in 10 years we've seen Michael Myers on screen. I don't count Halloween 3 because, they're just showing Halloween. But right off the bat, we have problems. The mask doesn't look right. Very white. Hair doesn't look right. It looks too dark. Already, not a really good start for the look of Michael Myers. And then this is a great shot where, grabs her leg, pops up from under the bed. The lightning strikes right at the right time. Nice little up close look. Pretty good, but how the fuck does he already have the mask? How is he already here? Well, we find out when we go back. It was all a dream. She had a nightmare. Mrs. Carruthers comes in, grabs her up. She's screaming. And then, that's, kind of the first introduction to our new characters. Seeing the Shape. But then we get the familiar look. Haddonfield, Illinois, October 31st. We find out what year it is. 1988. Halloween didn't die here. Looks like Connell Cochran's big plan backfired. Everybody's still celebrating Halloween. Kids are trick-or-treating early in the morning. I've never seen that before in my life. But, they have to establish that, this is Halloween and it's a festive time. School bus is coming. So here we're introduced a little bit more to Rachel Carruthers. We meet the parents, Darlene Carruthers. I can't remember the dad's name. They're getting ready for work. And this is where Rachel, she has big plans for Halloween night. She has a big date with Brady, but turns out old Susan broke her ankle at the fucking skating rink. And already Rachel's day is off to the shits. And she's not happy, and she says some, things that little Jamie Lloyd overhears and kind of sends her running, thinking maybe she's not loved. Maybe she's a nuisance, but, Rachel's eating her bagel and, mom told her, you shouldn't eat that shit. And says something about wanting an oinker for a daughter. Pretty funny stuff. But Rachel, we know she's a good person. She feels bad. So she goes up, talks to Jamie, smooths it all over, said, I love you. You're my sister. And I'll tell you what, after school, to make it up to you, we're going to go down to Vincent's Drug, get some double scoops, ice cream. So very nice little moment, setting up the bond. So before we move on, let's go to the chat. God, am I going? Is this any good, guys? So Nick talking about the ambulance kill. You were never a fan, a little bit too hokey. Well, it upped the ante a little bit with the violence. First two Halloweens, Halloween 2 had a few pretty brutal kills. What's her name? Alice, when she gets stabbed in the throat. Nurse Janet getting stabbed in the eyeball. Really, those are the most brutal kills. But man, right out of the gate in Halloween 4, brutal kill. James Morant, welcome to the chat. interesting. Melissa Joan Hart auditioned for Jamie Lloyd. Well, I think the right person won the role. I think everybody will agree with me there. Entertainment Wizard, got to meet Danielle last October. Had her put fake blood on you. Is she really cool in person? I know she does a lot of these. One of these days, me and Nick and Jake will meet up at one of these conventions, and maybe we can meet her too. Rachel, you mean Joe? Yeah, well, our friend Joe. He RPs of Rachel Carruthers on Twitter. Very funny stuff. Go find. He's really good. The mask works in some scenes. Yeah, it does in a few. Apparently, they made the wrong mask, the company, and I guess maybe they got him late, and the guy painted them all. Like, he got them, they were shooting, and man, they needed that mask right away, and he just didn't have some of them painted. I'll show those later. Right mask, wrong colors. Josh, I actually like the Halloween 4 mask. It has its own unique weirdness. Yeah. Because Dick Warlock kept the original from 1 and 2, and he sold it to a friend of his. Susan, bring your crutches, do your job. Right? Bagel, that is high carbs. Yeah, bagels are high carbs. James Morant, Rachel is definitely his second favorite final girl in the franchise. Yeah, that did her dirty in Halloween 5. Real dirty. Poor Jamie. Rachel's just pissed because she's going to miss the D. Well, Brady was going to make a commitment. Like, she's not going to take the D unless she gets that commitment. So no D from Rachel or for Rachel. All right. Anyway, they're talking about. So let's get back into this. So here we see Dr. Loomis for the first time. 10 years. We find out Loomis has in fact survived. One thing I'll say, Donald Pleasance he gave it his all in every time he played Dr. Loomis. And great lines, and his performance here was no exception. Great job by Donald Pleasance as Dr. Loomis, but he rolls in and, I guess he did end up reading his memos, and he found out that, Michaels was transferred, and he's there to, what the fuck have you done, Dr. Hoffman? This isn't a man. And, Loomis, he knows. If you get Michael, on the move, you're flirting with disaster, and he knows. And, right as they're talking, Dr. Hoffman's like, fuck you. And then the phone rings, and of course, Loomis already knows Michael is loose. So Loomis shows up on the scene. They found the bus, flipped over, went off the bridge into the river. And it's quite the scene here, man. A lot of blood here. Loomis gets a good look, man. Just pandemonium went on in this fucking bus. Nothing he's surprised by. He just wades out in the water like nothing. Like, he's not surprised at all. And informs, the cops, like, oh, he probably got thrown 100 feet from the bus. But Loomis knows, no, you're not going to find him. He's about 4 hours east of here in Haddonfield, and he's going to go find him. So Loomis takes off to Haddonfield, and we catch up with Michael. He's found a nice little gas station coming to. There's always a mechanic working at the gas station. They've recycled this plot point through several Halloween films where Michael goes in, kills a mechanic, gets his coveralls and boots, and then from there sets out to get his mask. But man, this is a pretty brutal kill. This guy just wanted a 5/16, and he took the fucking crowbar to the chest. Poor guy. But Loomis pulls up on the gas station when all this shit conveniently is going on, so Michael hasn't gotten far. Old-timey pennies. Got a little diner in there. Old-timey gas pumping station. But Loomis pulls in there to get some petrol, as he would call it, I'm sure. But things are quiet. There's nobody to be found. He goes into the diner. I think he goes in through the garage there and finds the mechanic dead. Goes into the diner, finds poor Alice, whatever the fuck, Kiss My Grits lady, dead behind the cash register there. But he's got a bigger gun this time. Think good on Loomis. Had that snub nose. Think 38, maybe 57. And now he's got a big fucking nickel-plated, nice shiny gun. But he confronts Michael, man. There's Michael. Got his coveralls and his boots. Doesn't have his mask yet. But Loomis is like, hey, Michael, leave those people in peace. They've suffered enough, but he knows there's no stopping him. God damn you. Great line by Loomis. He just fucking fires up the diner. Fires probably 6 shots, 7 shots. You guys tell me. And then, everywhere Loomis goes, there's bound to be an explosion. And yeah, you're having flashbacks, to the flames and Halloween 2. Well, we're off to the races. You see Michael there on the right there, driving the big rigger truck, where you want to call it, rigger. What do you call those? Like they use it, towing truck. That's what I'm looking for. But yeah, Michael speeds away, and then we catch up to Jamie. Poor little Jamie. Of course, kids are being cruel to her, making fun of her because, she's an orphan. Her dad's the boogeyman. And this is where we kind of learn just how good Danielle Harris's acting chops are. She takes all this shit, all this abuse from these kids. Anybody play with? You can see the kid on the left here with the mask. I used to play with those. Those are pretty cool toys. Cool cartoon. Love that show. And then Frankenstein making fun of Jamie. Her mommy's a mummy. But Danielle, she goes out to wait for Rachel to pick her up, collects herself. Really nice little scene for Danielle. So here she is, just like promised. Rachel and her friend Lindsay. Is this Lindsay Wallace, guys? I think so. Don't know why they didn't use her more in this, Lindsay or Tommy. It seems kind of, I don't know what they were thinking there. They seem a good idea to bring them back for whatever reason. They didn't. Maybe it was too crowded here. I don't know. I always thought maybe they could have, instead of it be Brady, it could have been Tommy, but I don't know. But anyway, here's Lindsay. She got her wild 80s hair. Talking about what the fuck ever. And then they go to Vincent's Drug, where we meet Brady and the boys here, just hanging around. I guess it's a pharmacy slash, general store. They sell Halloween costumes. This is where you go to get your Halloween costume. So Rachel's bringing Jamie to get her Halloween costume, get some ice cream. And the boys here, sitting around here, and then I didn't forget, guys. Here's Kelly Meeker. Kelly Meeker, we find out this is the sheriff of Haddonfield's daughter. And she's not to be fucked with. But Wade makes the big bet that he could go ask her out, $10. And we get fuck off, Wade, and that's how we're introduced to Kelly Meeker. What a great scene for her to introduce her. And then they kind of turn it on its head and make her just a bitch to everybody, which is kind of crazy. But, old Wade struck out here. Fuck off, Wade. So Rachel comes in, and then we find out, they're pulling up to the Vincent Drug here. But we see that the Shape is already there. He's there in his wrecker and the tow truck. So he is already in Haddonfield. So, Rachel, Lindsay drops him off. Rachel, Jamie, they go in. And this is where, unfortunately for Brady, he finds out that, Rachel can't meet up later. Can't give his commitment. Can't give her the D because, Rachel has to babysit. Tough stuff, He didn't take it well. So, yeah. And then we see Jamie. She's perusing the costume, looking for the right costume. And of course, she happens upon, which I think I forgot. No, there she did. She did. She found the clown costume, which is, I don't know, a coincidence. That was her uncle's choice of Halloween costume when he was a little about her age. So already a connection is made between Jamie Lloyd, the niece of the boogeyman, and the boogeyman himself. But nobody paid attention why this guy with all the bandages around his head and the blood or whatever, nobody paid attention when he entered the store and found his mask, which you guys have all seen Nick Push's Kate Winslet Halloween mask. The cheapest version you can get, which I think was modeled off of this shot right here. Nick Push, when you do your next stream, put your mask on. Everybody see what I'm talking about. The Winslet mask. Looks like Kate Winslet. But Michael, grabs his mask. Oh, shit, I forgot that good one in there. And Jamie sees his reflection in the mirror, screams, mirror breaks. And we get this. This is probably one of the few times the mask looks okay, I'm going to say. But Michael's gotten his mask back, and, things are on track for Halloween 4. And before I press on, let's go to the chat. You guys are hopping. Josh, he had in 78, I had a Smith & Wesson, sound like Chekhov, Smith & Wesson Model 15. Well, this one is like a Desert Eagle. All of us can relate to a scene, well, all been picked on. Well, you guys don't know Bud very well. Nobody picked on me. I'm a Viper, man. You guys don't even know. I wish Michael would have scared the crap out of those kids. Yeah, Michael didn't really have any. He was all business in this one. No moments for humor from Michael. Yeah. Let's see. I thought Lindsay looked like Tina. Yeah, a little bit wild with the hair. She didn't have an annoying voice as Tina. Budget reason. Lindsay was supposed to be in the script and more. Yes. If you read Taking Shape, you do find out that there was a script at one time that did involve Tommy and Lindsay, but it also had a 20-foot tall shape. So probably best they didn't make it. Speculation. Yeah, I think it has to be Lindsay. Has to be. Allie says her son has been going through it this month, getting bullied. Well, yeah, man, kids are mean. That's for damn sure. I didn't bully kids, but I just didn't allow it, man. Small guy, big mouth. Just talk a lot of shit. Look at those vintage Halloween decorations. Sorry about that. Yeah. Let's see. We need to get Sheriff Meeker to leave town for the weekend. None of the shampoo or front face. Kelly can't do her job right. Well, she doesn't really have to. She's probably only there because her daddy said, you have to get a job. Yeah, summer is coming. I think school is out here in a couple weeks, so thankfully we're close. Here's a good one. I wish they would have kept the bandage on Michael. It was definitely a creeper. No, you have to eventually make your way to the mask. Maybe they could have prolonged it a little bit. That might have been, maybe you could have killed one of those kids that were running around pretending to be the shape. Things they could have done. Who was worse, Brady or Cameron? Well, ultimately, in the end, they were both good guys. But so I won't want to pick because, ultimately they ended up being good guys. And I think that's it. You're a regular Nikki Santora. So that puts it nail it right on the head. Perfect. Now, Jake, this is for you.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
Back to the movie. All right, so we catch up with Loomis. Cars, he didn't get to fill up the car. So he did end up running out of gas. Poor guy, broken down on the side of the road. looking for for a ride, and cheerleaders and the jocks show up, trying to egg him on. Here, come on, we'll give you a ride. But no, they leave him in the dust, and he's sitting there in the dust. And here comes Reverend Sayer. Pretty interesting character. The guy looking for, could tell he was a pilgrim. He's like, can tell the evil just like Loomis, and they have a nice little drink together. It was a nice little funny moment. Reverend Jackson Sayer. Yeah. Nice little moment, Loomis was able to kind of forget about, what his mission is and have a nice little smile. It was nice to see Dr. Loomis have a smile. He's always such a serious guy. But yeah, Loomis catches a ride, and finally, it is the night. It's October 31st, Halloween night. And we catch up at the Carruthers house. Mom and Dad are getting ready to go to a big party. Jamie's going to go trick-or-treating. Rachel's pouting on the couch, but the Shape is where he often is. He's stalking right outside the window, kind of moving around undetected, back on the streets at night in Haddonfield. So the Shape is there. So, Jamie gets her costume on. They're going to go trick-or-treating. And then Loomis finally makes it to town. Goes into the sheriff's office looking for Sheriff Brackett. Apparently he didn't know. Sheriff Brackett retired back in, 82? Went to St. Petersburg. So Sheriff Brackett is no longer the sheriff of Haddonfield. And we learned that this guy right here, this tough-looking guy, Sheriff Ben Meeker, he's the new guy in town. And Loomis is, tells him the story that, Michael Myers has escaped. Your town is in danger. And, it was a lot easier to convince him than it was to convince Lee Brackett that evil had come to his town. So, he said, we'll call the Stadies. If your story checks out, we'll get everybody we can in here. And then the deputy there lets them know that, hey, the lines are down. So, shit, something's going on. So they're going to go out and investigate. So we catch up with Rachel and Jamie. They're out trick-or-treating, doing as promised. Jamie's getting to enjoy being a kid on Halloween, aside from all the boogeyman shit. But yeah, takes her around, and let's see, where do I have next? They end up at Sheriff Meeker's house, and of course, Kelly Meeker's there. And she has a special guest in the house, as Rachel can see in the background, and it's her boyfriend Brady over at Kelly Meeker's house. I just got to tell you, Brady has it all figured out. One of the smartest guys in the Halloween franchise, in my opinion. That's where you go. And, he has to come out and explain, you canceled our date, this is your fucking fault. And she's like, so yeah, you jump on the next big thing. So, a little rift here. And there she is, guys. Kelly Meeker. Up there with door open, holding all the candy. Getting cold. Brady, get your ass in here, Brady's wasting time out there. In my opinion, he should just, be already back in there. So Rachel finds out, Jamie's run off with the kids that were making fun of her. And, they think she's cool now because she has on a costume. She's one of them. And so Jamie runs off into the night with these kids to go trick-or-treating some more, and Rachel's lost her. So she's running around and looking, but we know the Shape is stalking. He's there. He's watching. And Rachel kind of gets that feeling, like something's not right here. Somebody's watching me. Then we get yes, that's right. We get our famous blue lighting. They were able to bring the blue lighting back. It's a good call. But from there, Rachel sets out to look for Jamie. And then we fast forward. We meet our Trump-loving mob here, Earl and the boys, at the bar at the Oasis. Watching TV, and a news bulletin's gone out saying they're calling for a citywide curfew. parents go find your kids and get the fuck home. Nobody's allowed out. And Earl's like, you know what? I own a bar here. I'm gonna guess they don't sell any Bud Light there. I'm just gonna go out on a wild guess there. But says, hey, what the fuck's going on? Call down to the police station. And then they talk about how tough Sheriff Meeker is. That if an alien showed up on his doorstep, he'd spit once, get himself a shotgun. So they're talking up Ben Meeker as the badass of the town. So they can hardly believe, that he's gonna just fucking call a curfew and shut things down. But Sandy calls and the phone just rings and rings. And Earl's, you don't just call a fucking police station and the phone just rings. It doesn't happen. So they're setting out to find out what the fuck's going on. They're getting in their trucks. Couple of getting some Yinlings or, Miller Lite, definitely not Bud Light, but they're going to go find out what the fuck's going on there. They're going down to the sheriff's station to find out what's up. So, thing to set up for later. So we catch up with Meeker and Loomis. Of course, you'd go to Jamie Lloyd's house because you think, maybe Michael knows. Be a good place to start to look for him. And I forgot the scene earlier where Michael actually goes into the house, and I forgot this, guys. I'm sorry, but Michael finds the shoebox and finds the picture of Jamie Lee Curtis holding the pumpkin. Don't know who took that. Don't know who took that picture, but it was a good picture. But again, established that the shape remembers her, knows who she is, knows it's his sister. So firm that up. But they find the dog dead, and this shit's starting to spook me, Doc. That's what Meeker says. And they have a nice little shared moment. I'm glad I'm not alone. But the bells are ringing for these guys. They know something's not right. They know he's back. So we catch up with Shape. The Shape is smart this time around. I like this little turn where a smart Shape. He's cut the phone lines, and now he's going to go cut the power to the whole town. And we meet Bucky, the electrician, working the substation here. And here, I think I have this.
Don't try that Halloween shit with me.
Don't try that Halloween shit with me. But Shape is there definitely to try the Halloween shit. And to me, this is where we kind of see how bad the mask looks. It doesn't light up all the way. That's weird about this mask. It doesn't light up good, and it's not really well in the shadows. But Michael throws Bucky into the substation and, blows all the transformers and kills all the power to Haddonfield. And I'll pause there and go to the chat, and we'll catch up. Costs a lot of money to look cheap. Are you talking about Kelly Meeker? Well, she just has a nice shirt on. She looked beautiful. Looks like that a bar in the movie Accused with Jodie Foster. Yeah, that's a fucked up movie. Derek Dulce, welcome to the chat. Hey there, Halloween fans. Awesome. Thanks for joining. The mob in Halloween 4 was done better than Halloween Kills. James Reyes. For sure. It was a small mob and they didn't chant stupid shit. So Chris Fantasy says they are Bud Light guys. Yeah. Million times better Entertainment Wizard agrees than the mob and Halloween Kills. Let's see here. Rachel's house was apparently unlocked. Well, I mean, a lot of Midwestern sleepy little towns like that. I know at our house didn't lock the doors. Something to be said about that. I don't think Mikey is dead. Mikio. The dog. Yeah, dog. He got hungry. I don't think he ate Sunday. Welcome to Chris Fantasy. I forgot to welcome you. John Wick would hate Michael for killing dogs. Maybe that's the angle. Michael versus John Wick. That could be the angle. John Wick is still falling down the stairs. Let's see here. Who's more memorable with almost no screen time, Wade or Bucky? I'm going to say Bucky. See, he has the, he's not there for the nonsense.
Don't try that Halloween shit with me.
Try that Halloween shit with me. So, yeah, Ali agrees, Bucky. So, let's get back to the movie. So, we catch up. Loomis finds, I think, wait a minute, I may have got this out of order. No, I just covered over it. Rachel does end up, in fact, Jamie kind of realized she's being stalked. She ends up alone. But Rachel catches up to her, and as this happens, Meeker and Loomis pull up in the squad car, and we get this little creepy scene where all these shapes, there's several of them. There's one in the bushes, one around back at the other house. And, turns out it's some pranksters. I think it would have been cool to have Michael kill one of these guys and get his mask back. I think that might have been a little bit better than him rolling into the drugstore and just stealing one, shoplifting. This probably would have been a little bit better, but one of those guys was the real shape, though. So he was there. He was watching. That's a pretty cool little shot, pulling away from the shape, just standing in the street in the moonlight. Pretty cool shot. So Loomis, they take Rachel. They're going to go to the sheriff's station to hold up. But they walk in and find out the whole station's been massacred. Poor Deputy Pierce had his arms cut off. Michael just went to this place and just fucked everybody up. And they don't have a police force. But Loomis, being smart, he realizes, the mob pulls up and finds out, hey, what the fuck's going on, Sheriff Meeker? They I guess they went in there and saw that everybody's dead. You don't have a police force. And Loomis informs them it was Michael Myers. And they all know who Michael Myers is. And it turns out one of these guys' son was killed by Michael Myers 10 years before. But, Meeker's like, what the fuck have you done, Loomis? You set the Trump mobsters, the mob, out on the streets. It's going to be pandemonium. We have a psychopathic killer walking around here, and then we have these guys. Bad situation. But yeah, we catch up, just like, they're looking for them. They all have their shotguns, and someone sees something move in the bush, and they just, do like anybody would do. Just fucking unload several rounds into the bushes, and they killed poor Ted Hollister. I guess he was meant to be one of the guys that was running around wearing the mask and pretending to be Myers, but yeah, they killed Ted Hollister. Poor guy. We never get to see him. Just Ted Hollister in name only. I think Alec Baldwin was there. I think he fired the fatal shot, if I recall. But here's the good stuff. We catch up back at the Meeker house. The power's out. The fire is hot. And Brady is in heaven, where we all would have liked to have been. When I saw this, I was like, God, wish I could have been Brady. But yeah, look at that. Isn't that like, she should have got an MTV Movie Award or something for this. Just a really good performance. One of the best performances in a Halloween movie, if I do say. But Brady's going for it. But of course, the sheriff dad's home. It's Dad. We got to scramble to put on the clothes. It's all sweaty in there. It's muggy. Fucking tears are raining from the ceiling. The things were hot and heavy, and now the sheriff is home. What do we know about Sheriff Meeker? He doesn't fuck around. But, they pretend like he's reading like Highlights magazine or some shit. Try to hide his boner, tuck it between, cross his legs so nobody can see his fucking boner. Poor Brady's got blue balls here, poor guy. But yeah, Rachel comes in and says, oh, she can smell it. Things are not right here. But, we met Deputy Logan a little bit earlier when Loomis and Meeker were at the Carruthers house. He pulled up, came in the door. Meeker told him to stay sharp, but Logan, he comes to the Meeker house. That's where they're going. The police station's fucked up. These are the only cops left alive. But, he has a passenger. Michael is in the back seat. I don't know how. I don't know where he jumped in the back of his car, but I think it was a few scenes back where I guess Logan heard it on the radio. I guess Michael jumped in there when he was out of his car, but Michael's there, Logan's there, and this is where Sheriff Meeker and poor Brady have the talk. Tells, "Hey, we got to fortify this house. I want you upstairs with this box of nails and this hammer. I want you to nail all the windows shut." Does that shit even work? I don't even know if that works, but they got to fortify the house. And he's holding his nice little shotgun. Asks him, "Hey, do you know how to handle a shotgun?" And then he tells him, "If I catch you groping my daughter, I'm going to use that shotgun on you." So a nice little funny moment, a little cool moment for Meeker. But, they're all fortifying the house. Let's see. Kelly Meeker's there. Brady's there. Loomis. They're all there. But Rachel trying to comfort her little sister here upstairs. Things are getting hectic. Things are getting scary. I think they overheard that the boogeyman is there. So Jamie's uncle is there. So they know. And then Loomis and Meeker, they go down. A lot of people have a ham radio. And Meeker goes down and trying to hail the state police to get them to come to Haddonfield because the phone lines are down. Apparently there's no other way to communicate. 1988. But so, Meeker, he reaches somebody from another town over. He says, "You know what, I'll fucking call the police and I'll get back to you once they're called." But here's some other shit. I heard that Ted Hollister's dead. He's been shot. And that's where Meeker realizes, the mob's out there. So he's got to go out into the night and stop the mob. That's more important than Michael Myers. I don't know. But Meeker leaves, and then Loomis decides he's going to go back to the Carruthers house. So he's out of the house. So it's just Brady, Rachel, Jamie, Kelly, Deputy Logan alone in the house. And I wasn't able to find a good screenshot of it. It's one of my favorite scenes. We get that peek, Michael just hits the light right in the background there. Great effective scene. So we find out he is in fact in the house. And Deputy Logan, Rachel have a little moment here. And then we catch up with Kelly Meeker. She's making some tea just like she was told. And then, they have the confrontation. Rachel calls her out for stealing her man. And I can't remember what Kelly says something about. It's not about what men want, or it won't be the first time you lose a man to another woman, whatever. And then Rachel, with a nice little moment, throws the coffee all over. Wet t-shirt, guys. Rachel is a hero. Even though it was dark, we didn't get to see. But so Kelly brings down the tea to Deputy Logan. Rachel goes down. She's waiting on the radio. Meeker tells her, wait for the call. And then when the call comes in, go tell Deputy Logan. So Rachel's downstairs. Meeker leaves. So Kelly brings in the tea. I wasn't able to get a good scene of it, but it's not Deputy Logan sitting in the rocking chair. It's Michael with a shotgun, and he rams it. She died a hero's death. I just have to say, very sad. Probably one of the saddest kills, everybody, I think, in a Halloween movie. But, she was a good woman. And Kathleen Kinmont did a great job. But yeah, Deputy Logan, he got his head and arms snapped off, and it was just kind of stuffed down there under the light. Pretty crazy. So yeah, Rachel comes down, gets the call. The state police are coming. She goes up to tell Logan, finds his head, runs upstairs to look. And yeah, runs into Brady. But hey, look, fucking shape's walking up the stairs. So it's on. Pretty creepy scene of him walking up the stairs. What do you guys think of that? I'm going to get through Brady's untimely demise. But Brady, had a little hero moment. Had the shotgun. It got jammed, unfortunately. He did not know how to handle that shotgun. But he tried to put up a fight, but in the end, he got his neck snapped like a twig. But he had a nice moment where he got to spit in the Shape's face and then a little bit defiance. But Brady's done. And I'll pause it there and go back to the chat. If everybody enjoying this, God, it must be fun watching me go through this. One issue, Michael left the car door open and Deputy Logan never said anything about it. Like, he didn't even look. Let's see. Nick pushes horror channel. Granted, it might be just rumor, but I'd like to see director's cut of 4. Yeah. Rated R take of this scene needs to come out. Yeah, you think there was more? Hooray for boobies. Ted Hollister, rest in peace. Is the meters one? That one have the gun too close to the face? I don't know. Let's see here. We already did that one. Kelly has big tatas, but Rachel is cuter. I don't know. It's all subjective. Yeah, Chris, I saw it in the theater as well when it came out. It was a lot of fun. Let's see. When Halloween comes back, we need creepy shots again. Agreed. Like, less is more. Tom Morga was the one to kill Kelly with the shotgun, which is a pretty interesting way to off someone. Yeah. Like, he never fired the gun, but he sure rammed it right up her ass. That's for sure. How dare Rachel waste that coffee? Tisk, tisk, starving kids are thirsty. Her heart was in the right place. This kill always bothered me, and it had to be so painful. Had to have been quick. Michael, oh, wait a minute. We haven't got to that, Nick. You're getting ahead of me here. Brady went out a hero. Thanks, Allie. I'm doing great. Chris, this is his number 2 in the franchise. All right, so let's move on. So, yeah, Michael's chasing. And, of course, the windows are nailed shut. Meeker didn't really think this out, you know. They're trapped in there. They're trapped. But Rachel, being thrifty, she figured out how to get up on the roof. Got Jamie on her back on the roof. This is a fucking very tense, crazy scene. But, yeah, Michael waddling his fat ass up onto the roof. We almost got Rachel. You know, Rachel was lowering Jamie down on the coax cable, which is, you know, that's pretty strong stuff. Good thinking. Rachel's smart. But she lowered Jamie. You know, Jamie kind of gets stuck halfway down. But Rachel, you know, she's stuck up there with the shape. He's got his knife. He's going after her, but Rachel ends up falling to the ground. Pretty long fall. Meeker's house is apparently like a couple stories, maybe 3 stories. So that was a long fall. But Jamie, you know, gets herself down there, and oh shit, you know, she thinks Rachel's dead. And, you know, are we supposed to believe that Rachel's dead? But yeah. But Jamie runs off into the night, and she runs into Dr. Loomis, and, you know, Loomis again. Smart. Let's go to the school and fucking set the alarm off. So, yeah, they go into the school, but, you know, the shape is close behind. And then we get to this point. So, there was a rumor a long time ago that people thought this was the original Halloween mask. That it was, you know, I thought this for a long time. But that's not the case. This isn't the original Halloween mask. This is that night where they said, hey, we're shooting this and we need the fucking mask. But the guy didn't paint the mask yet. He hadn't painted the hair. He hasn't, you know, painted the mask white. So these are the Kirk masks, the color they come in. You know, they had to go modify them. They don't have the eyes cut out. It's not painted. Really terrible. Pretty scary scene, but man, that's so noticeable and annoying. But yeah, Michael's big shoulder pads. I'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, Michael throws Dr. Loomis through the window and sets off after Jamie. But here's another look at the mask, kind of like, it just didn't all come together here. Like, the stark white was a little much. But again, so yeah, so Michael's bearing down on Jamie, but well, Rachel did survive. She's there. Nice little moment. Hits him with the fire extinguisher, and they run off. And there's Earl and the mob waiting. And you know, they're gonna get him the fuck. Let's get the fuck out of here. Everybody finally wises up. We don't need to be running around trying to find this guy. We need to get the fuck out of here. So they all load up into the truck, driving to safety. State police are coming into town. They're that close. But this guy, this fat bastard here, somehow was able to hold on under the truck and pull his fat ass. You know, it looked like it took some effort, but got himself on the back of the truck, and then he just fucked these guys up, man. Just brutally stabbing him right in the fucking right under the armpit there. So it wasn't. So Halloween Kills was not, in fact, the first time Michael stabbed someone under the armpit. It was this guy. You remember, was it Big John took it right under the armpit? Brutal kill, and just throws his ass right out of the truck. But you know, Michael, he's always after the target. They think they don't even know. They can't even hear all this shit, this pandemonium going on in the back. Yeah. But Michael comes through the window, rips Earl's face off. Another brutal kill. They had some really brutal kills in this movie. If you think about it, the thumb, you know, Kelly Meeker taking the shotgun, Bucky getting thrown into the substation. What was the other one? Brady getting his neck snapped, and this Earl getting his damn face ripped off. But Rachel, you know, she's smart. She grabs a hold of the truck, swerving all over the damn place, trying to get him the fuck off of the truck. But you know, she finally, you know, he's still trying, doesn't give up. But she finally gets him off there, and he's, you know, collects himself. But she runs into him going back, what, 80 miles an hour? Knocks him through the air, what, 200 feet? No man can survive that. But he did. You know, Jamie went out, you know, the cops are pulling up. Jamie went to go show some compassion towards her uncle. What do you guys think of that? Kind of a prelude to things to come, but Michael's not dead. One last scare. He's going to get up and kill her, but they're there, unload on him. Untold numbers of shotgun rounds, and he falls down into the mine shaft, not to be seen again in the film. So it's a happy ending, right? No. No, we cut over to the Carruthers house. You know, mom is home, dad's home. Rachel and Jamie come in. Loomis is there. Meeker's there. I don't know. I don't know. You guys think he knows that his daughter had passed? I'm going to guess he knew there. But he's a dedicated law enforcement official, and he's there with the victims' families. And so Mrs. Carruthers is going to cut a bath for Jamie so she can wash up and get ready for bed. But as we know, we see that familiar scene where the mask comes over the eyes. And you're just like the original Halloween. We've come full circle. We see the eyes from their point of view. Walking in, Mrs. Carruthers is in there drawing the bath, but Jamie's there with her scissors and stabs her. And it seems the cycle has been passed on. They've set it up nicely. Michael's dead. The evil has passed on to his niece. There she is, bloody clown costume, just like her uncle. Like they've set it up nicely for Halloween 5. Loomis realizes, he sees at the bottom of the stairs, like, oh my God, evil is not gone. It is passed on to the niece. They've set it up perfectly for another sequel. And that's the end of Halloween 4. So I'll go to the chat again, and then I'll tell you some of the things I liked and some of the things I hated. Let's see here. They were shooting late night, and the guy grabbed the wrong mask. Yeah, I guess he grabbed one of the ones that he had not painted. James said Ellie cut herself on the roof. Yeah, man, it looks like she did all her own stunts. Like, man, they lucked into two amazing final girls for this, with Danielle Harris and Ellie Cornell. Like, you know, they're gonna go on to the next one, and they're gonna fucking nail it. You know it. Entertainment, he's shocked this scene. They have never tried to color correct this. Yeah, they could have done that with the restoration on the 4K Blu-ray, which I'll show you guys in a minute. We'll talk about it. Let's see here. Sorry. Let me figure this shit out. I figured out I don't need to fill up the whole scene, but yeah. Let's see, James Rand. There were apparently more to it. The primary mask was either lost or damaged, so they had to use a mask that was not ready. Yeah. Definitely a goalie. He's talking about the pads, the ridiculous hockey pads. Yeah. Let's see here. Earl death is James's favorite scene. Michael whip his hair back and forth. He whip his hair back and forth. Yeah. Apparently Earl's kill was trimmed. Yeah. Scott, he did like Rachel's black bra. Kelly, wish you had Rachel's bra instead of your boring white bra. You know what? I like white. I like white bras. I don't wear them, but I like, my wife has white bras. Too much. The evil has been passed on to her. Yeah, they're set up nicely, man. I don't know how they could fuck this up. Piece of trivia. Throwing the bomb into the shaft was shot for 4, but it was cut out and used in 5. I did not know that. It's a nice little piece of trivia. One of the best endings in the franchise. Yeah. Dr. Loomis, A+ in that scene. Thanks, Josh. I'm not done yet. And I'm going to talk about 5. Let me put this up here. 5 things I like. Okay, obviously the poster here. One of the things I like. I'm not going to go through it. I loved Danielle Harris and Ellie Cornell. They were great additions. Like, to me, you couldn't get any better actresses to bring that in. But really, they're the unsung heroes to Halloween 4, as Nick Push would put it. Love the opening credits. Like that it's all quiet. We don't hear Halloween music. It's just an eerie kind of, quiet Midwestern eeriness. What else? I loved Kelly Meeker, obviously, and I liked how they captured the atmosphere of Haddonfield. I felt watching 1 and 2. They were same familiar settings, but obviously they didn't film this in Pasadena. They filmed this, I think, somewhere in Utah, Salt Lake City, perhaps. But I think they were able to capture the Midwestern spirit a little bit better in Halloween 4 than they were in the first 2. There are palm trees in the background, so they did a great job really capturing it. There's no way they filmed these scenes in Utah. I'm going to guess these were filmed actually somewhere flat. But I love this, and then, I think we'll get to the things I didn't like. Things I can't stand. The mask, I can't stand it. It's just terrible. I mean, we waited 10 years for this shit, and they fumbled probably one of the key parts. Like, to me, they should have nailed this. And they didn't. I didn't really like Earl and the mob. It was like, I understand they had a plot device and they were integral to getting them out of there, but wouldn't it just been better if some of the state police had gotten there and gotten them out of there? I don't know. Didn't really like Earl and the mob. What else didn't I like? Let's see. Let's get back to the chat. I'm fumbling this. I need to be more ready for the 5 things I hate. Yeah, let's see here. What does Jake say here? Nobody with the initials DG should be allowed anywhere near this franchise. David Green, and Dominique Gerard, whatever the fuck his name was. What did I miss here? Well, I guess I missed the joke. Jake Blaster Productions, a company called BH. Yeah, it was in Salt Lake City. All 4, 5, and 6 were all filmed Salt Lake City. Thanks for that, Josh. Remember Halloween 4 Trivia Open? He did use the opening sequence, and you can't find it anywhere. Some of your best work it was. It was good stuff. What else did I not like about Halloween 4? Overall, I mean, Halloween 4 it's pluses all through, other than the mask, maybe the mob. Great movie, great sequel. Like, if they'd have nailed the mask, could you imagine they would have been set up a lot better for Halloween 5. Maybe if they'd nailed the mask, but you know, Halloween 4 was successful. They made it obviously on a cheap, fast. They didn't waste any time when they made this movie. They got this thing shot, I think, in 30 days. Had it out, and Halloween 4 did pretty well at the box office, if I recall. It was definitely profitable. And then on home video, it cleaned up a couple years later. So, yeah, Halloween 4 is a nice, welcome return to basics after Halloween 3. We all said last week we love Halloween 3, but they had to get the shape back in there. They had to get Michael Myers back in there, and they set themselves up nicely. They brought him back. Had Danielle Harris, Ellie Cornell primed, Donald Pleasance still alive. So that I think Halloween 4 left the franchise overall in a good position moving forward. Unfortunately, they were not able to execute and capitalize on it. But I give Halloween 4. I give it 3.5 stars out of 5. I love watching it. I'll watch it every year. It sucks that they've paired it with Halloween 5. You always kind of have to watch them together. But man, I always enjoy Halloween 4. So memorabilia. I don't have very much in the way of Halloween 4 for memorabilia. I have the poster behind me. I have the 4K Blu-ray, obviously. They remastered 4K scan of the movie. It's never looked better, and it'll probably never look as good as this. It has a Dolby Atmos surround mix. You get the original 2-channel Dolby stereo mix, and then there's the one, I think, the Anchor Bay 5.1 mix. They don't have a lot. They don't have any really special features, anything new. That was one of the disappointments. We know there are some deleted scenes. I know some people talked earlier about maybe a director's cut, but none of those scenes unfortunately didn't make it. Yeah, I really want to see what they cut. It probably wasn't much. They didn't waste. When they shot this thing, they didn't waste. They didn't. So there probably wasn't a lot. And I bought this in a thrift store probably about 25 years ago. And it was sitting, on my shit when I got back from the Navy. This was in there. I had this and Halloween 2. But this is the novelization. It's in really good shape. I don't even know if I've even read this thing, but pretty pristine. Nicholas Grabowski fleshed it out a little bit. I have not read it. It's based on the Alan B. McElroy's screenplay. I'm sure if you looked, I think there might be a YouTube channel or two that reads these aloud, and you can get them unabridged. Read the whole thing. You could just pop it on while you're driving. You have a commute. I will look for that and try to get that out to it. I found it, but they've done a lot of horror novelizations, a lot of things. So if you don't want to have to spend $150, $300, or whatever it is to get a copy of this, you can just go pop that on and listen to it. But that's what I have for Halloween 4. And before I close out, I'll go back to the chat and get everybody's ratings here. Allie wants a sequel to this. Yeah, me and Jake did a stream a week ago, where we talked about, maybe they could make a direct sequel to Halloween 4 and erase what they did with Ellie Cornell, with her character, with Rachel Carruthers and Jamie Lloyd. Let's see here. James gives it 8.5 out of 10. That's a really good rating. Entertainment Wizard loves it. 9 out of 10. Yeah, Halloween 4 was rumored to get cut footage, but didn't happen. Yeah. I can't imagine there's a lot of cut footage. 9 out of 10. Allie, supposed to be working on that for us. Halloween 4 novel is one of his favorites. Josh the Horror Guy. Worth reading. I think I'll read it. Oh, yeah, and yeah, that's right. Another thing, they did nail the score. The score was really well done. And this, a Halloween veteran, Alan Howarth, did Halloween 2 with John Carpenter. So they did one thing smart there by bringing at least somebody that knew what they were doing. And, I can't really complain about the Halloween 5 score. So Nick Push, 7 7.8 out of 10. One of the best in the franchise, but a step down from the first two. Yeah. Next one after this is a bigger step down. Yeah, I'm gonna do that one. I'm gonna do Halloween 5 when I come back. I'll be on hiatus next week. Won't see. I'll be on with Jake on Sunday on his channel for Rewind Trivia. We're gonna do the Terminator. So I'll take a 1 week break and then I'll be back. Scotty gives it an 8 out of 10. So I think we all love Halloween 4. I don't think I saw anyone in here tonight that doesn't like it. So anyway, so I'm gonna probably close it out then. I want to thank everybody. Oh wait. Before I go, everybody, if you're still in here, please hit the like. If you haven't subscribed, I saw a new face in here. Hit the subscribe button so you get notified when I go live. I'm gonna be doing a live. I've been doing a live stream once a week solo. I think they've been going pretty well. I hope you guys have enjoyed them. I've enjoyed doing them. It's not so much fun putting these slide presentations together, but in the end, it is worth it. So I think I'm gonna take it out, and I will see you guys Sunday night. Everybody have a good rest of your week. Allie, fuck the stars. Good night, everybody.